So I'd now ask Councillor Pike to deliver that. Councillor Pike, are you there?
Thank you, Leader. Good afternoon, members, and to those listening online. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I was very keen to present to you a deputation today on the subject of housing delivery, as I believe it is one of the most important subjects this council has to deal with, so I'm going to get straight to the point. I believe we have a moral imperative to speed up our housing delivery in the borough. We have 1,632 families on our housing waiting list. That's the figure last week. And if you agree that this is an imperative, then we need a plan to deliver those houses, and a plan we all have confidence in. But I also believe we have a moral imperative to build these houses as sustainably as possible. And this means having a plan that focuses effort on the brownfield sites and delivers housing on those sites that have been allocated, rather than allowing a scattergun approach that will often land up using greenfields first. We can see this happening as greenfield sites now continue to come forward for determination. We are fortunate to have a good new local plan that we've already agreed as members, our 2037 local plan, and we've a talented and committed team of officers ready to put those policies into action and to check them out when planning applications are presented. So what we need now is a cabinet action plan that delivers this step change in progress. I'm certainly disappointed this topic has not had an airing at scrutiny before cabinet today, as it's a subject of keen interest to many members and a number I've spoken to before today. They know it's a vital tool in achieving sustainable development in the most appropriate places. But it is important that we get on with this. Every planning officer report now refers to the lack of 5-year supply we now have. It's a key mention in the DMC report this evening. It means we are now more likely that development does not meet our high standards and is not in the most sustainable places. So in the spirit of getting on with it, I want to suggest some improvements to the action plan you have before you today that might increase the likelihood of success. Firstly, we need to accelerate the plans for our own sites identified in the regeneration strategy. There's been little obvious progress in the last 6 months, and these sites could be making a significant contribution to the target. I would like to see some of those sites put into the action plan. It's even more important because there are sites in the 5-year supply that I think are unlikely to come forward within 5 years, like Longcrops Lane in Emsworth. So we need other sites coming on stream to replace those that don't come forward. Secondly, we need to beef up section 4.8 of your report to work much more closely with developers to clear log jams in the system. These are often with the statutory consultees and where solutions need to be found to complex problems. In my experience, they're often about trees, infrastructure, birds, water and roads. In my experience, it often takes the politicians to knock heads together to come up with pragmatic solutions, and we should be doing that with each of our major development sites. When I saw the report before you today, I picked up the phone to one of our major sites, and certainly doing that could potentially remove months or years from the development timeline. And thirdly, we need to get started on the delivery of our major development site at Southley. We know there's going to be complex infrastructure discussions to be had, and these need to be thrashed out before homes are built. So we need to start now so that this site can join the 5-year supply in the not too distant future, rather than just waiting to see what happens. In signing off this report today, the Cabinet should confirm what the action plan is going to achieve. We need some clear targets and dates for completion. Otherwise, we'll be sitting looking at a similar report next year with further slippages. We need the report to say when the 5-year supply will be restored. And I've asked Councillor Lloyd to urgently examine this at her scrutiny board. In summary, I suggest to you today that getting this right is one of the top priorities for members and the residents of the borough. We should be reducing the time without a 5-year supply to a minimum, and we need some costed, rapid and achievable actions, plus some clear targets to ensure this happens. Thank you for listening.